Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of hybridization. So in this concept we will discuss about what is a hybridization, how it is going to be calculated for inorganic as well as organic molecules. So it is one of the most important topic in variable examinations such as IIT JEE mains and advanced as well as CSIR examination, GATE examination. It is helps both for inorganic as well as organic compounds. So what is hybridization? So this is well known definition, I will explain even with the shortcuts. Hybridization is nothing but intermixing of atomic orbitals. So intermixing of atomic orbitals. We are intermixing atomic orbitals. That atomic orbitals, once if they intermix, they will responsible to give hybrid orbitals. So here we can define very easily, intermixing of atomic orbitals to give equal and similar number of hybrid orbitals is known as a hybridization. Suppose see, if I intermix a s orbital, one s orbital I am intermixing, and here one p orbital which is orienting in x axis I am intermixing together. So here you may expect two hybrid orbitals, one is s orbital, other is p orbital. We are intermixing these two. So here you may expect two sp hybrid orbitals are expected. So this can be represented like this. So this is sp and here also sp. So two sp hybrid orbitals will form. So in the same way, one s orbital and here one px orbital and here one py orbital are intermixed together. So whenever if I intermix these three, so here you may expect three sp2 hybrid orbitals. So this can be represented like this. This is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3. So this is sp2, here also it is sp2 and here also sp2. So three hybrid orbitals are going to be formed when these three atomic orbitals are combined. So now I would like to take three atomic orbitals here. So this is px, now I am taking py, next I am taking pz. So if I take these three atomic orbitals, it is responsible to give 4 sp3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sp3 will result. So this will give like this. See here, this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3 and this is 4. So here we are going to expect 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. So based on this we can calculate what will be the hybridization of a selective molecule with respect to number of atomic orbitals combined. Suppose see, if two atomic orbitals are combined, okay, so here hybridization is sp2. Total number of pairs, total number of sigma bonds, if it is 2, that is sp2. If it is 3, sorry, it is sp. If it is 3, that is sp2. If it is 4, it becomes sp3. Okay. If it is 5, number of pairs, number of hybrid orbitals I am saying. Okay. Total number of atomic orbitals, if they are 2, only 2, that is sp. If they are combining 3, that is sp2. If they are combining 5, here it is sp3d. If it is 6, sp3d d2. If it is 7, it is sp3 d3, etc. Like that we can combine with respect to atomic orbitals to molecular orbitals, also called hybrid orbitals. See, one more I will explain where you can understand how these atomic orbitals are responsible to give molecular orbitals. Suppose see, here one s orbital is there and here one px orbital and here one py orbital is there, and here out of this only 2 is combining. Only these 2 I would like to combine without combining this pz orbital. Py, pz you can take any one. So here these 2 becomes, whichever is hybridizing, whichever is combining, they becomes a hybrid orbital. Whichever is not combining, that becomes a unhybrid orbital. So py. So this is responsible for sigma, it is sigma, but this unhybrid orbital is responsible for pi bond. Okay. So here one s orbital and one px orbital, py orbital I am combining and pz orbital also I am combining. So I am intermixing these two only. Okay. So these two are intermixing and these two are not going to be intermixed, but they are available but they are not intermixing. So here the total number of hybrid orbitals are only 2. Why? Because I am intermixing only these two and these two remaining as it is. So here you may expect one py orbital and here you may expect one pz orbital. So this is py and this is pz. So these hybrid orbitals are responsible for sigma, here also sigma, this is responsible for pi and here also responsible for pi. So finally we can say that if any atomic orbitals combine together, okay, atomic orbitals which are combined together, they intermix together, they are responsible and they will forms a sigma bond. So we can say whichever atomic orbitals are combined together, that is responsible to give hybrid orbitals. So we know very well hybrid orbitals are responsible to give sigma bond, okay, and whichever orbitals are not hybridizing, so they are called unhybrid orbitals. Unhybrid orbitals are nothing but these two, and here this is one. So finally we can say that is responsible for pi bond. So that is responsible for pi bond. So I will explain with one example how to identify sigma as well as pi bond. Suppose if you take a triple bond of alkane, see this is carbon carbon, triple bond is present like this. So what is the hybridization of this carbon? Sp. Here also hybridization is Sp. Okay. So if you take this carbon, only two atomic orbitals are combining, and here also same for this carbon. See, this carbon carry s orbital and here px orbital, and one more is py orbital, and one more that is pz orbital like this. Slightly overlap together in sideways direction. So these three are p orbitals and these three are s orbital 1. So out of these two carbons, every carbon carry sp hybridization, means here sp means only one orbital. It may be a SNPX or SNPY or SNPZ etc. You can take any two orbitals which are intermixing, in which one s orbital is must. So we can take these two for this one. So first carbon, here two atomic orbitals are combining, so that will give two hybrid orbitals, and remaining py unhybrid, pz unhybrid. Okay, this carbon overlapping. For second carbon also I am writing same way, hybrid, here also hybrid, here py, and here also I am writing pz. Now these hybrid orbitals responsible for sigma bond. Here sp, here also sp, here one electron, here one electron. Now here one electron, here one electron is here. So these two are hybrid orbitals, here also these two are hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals are combining and forms a sigma bond, and here this hybrid orbital overlap with hydrogen, here also overlap with hydrogen. So that's why you will get CH and CH, and see this is pz, and here also pz, sidewise overlap, pz, and here also pz, py overlap, pz overlap. So this is responsible for half pi bond above, half pi bond below. Finally carbon carry one hydrogen, here also one hydrogen, there is a pi bond, here also pi bond. So this is sigma bond, and here there is a formation of two pi bond. So we can say directly head-on overlap between two hybrid orbitals responsible for sigma, sidewise overlap responsible for pi bond. So finally we can say that sidewise overlap is very weak, head-on overlap is very strong. Why? Because here they carry much more electron density. Okay, so but here it is overlapping on sideway. Sideway overlap always carry less electron density, that's why that bond is very weak. So we can say always sigma bond is stronger than pi bond. Okay, so why sigma bond is very stronger? Why? Because wherever electron density is very high, at that particular place only overlapping is taking place. But in case of pi bond, sidewise overlap is available. Due to this sidewise overlap, they cannot overlap effectively. It is a partial overlap, lateral overlap, it is a weak overlap that will give a very weak bond. Okay, that is about identification of sigma bond as well as pi bond. Now go through some shortcuts. In this particular shortcuts, we can identify what will be the hybridization of a given molecule. Okay, so here I am giving method 1. Method 1 to identify hybridization of a given molecule with respect to one general formula. Suppose if it is a neutral molecule, see, if it is a neutral molecule, simply you write down 1 by 2 G plus M. Okay, so G is nothing but group number, M is nothing but a monovalent. This is group number, M is nothing but monovalent atoms. Monovalent atoms. How many number of monovalent atoms are present? This is for a neutral, N is nothing but neutral. Suppose if it is a cation, so same formula you can apply, 1 by 2 G plus M, and here that is C. So here this is cationic charge, this is that cation, hybridization, group number of that cation central atom, number of monovalent atoms, and this is charge present on that cation. Okay, so here this C, so C is equal to charge on cation, it is charge on cation. Next go through A is nothing but anion, so 1 by 2 group number monovalent, and C here this is nothing but A, anion. So what is the charge of anion? That will be added here. So here A is nothing but charge of anion, anionic charge, also called charge of anion. So you need to remember these three formulas to calculate hybridization of any molecule bearing neutral charge, bearing positive charge, bearing negative charge. Anion is nothing but a negative, cation is nothing but a positive. Wherever cation is there, you need to remove. Wherever anion is there, try to add electrons in them. Okay, so I will explain one example. See, beryllium dichloride, it is a neutral molecule. If it is a neutral molecule, see, that is 1 by 2, beryllium belongs to second group element. Around beryllium, how many monovalent is there? First group elements as well as seventh group elements should be taken as a monovalent. Okay, here 2 chlorine atoms are there, try to substitute 2 here. So finally you will get 4 by 2, and here that is 2. If number is 2, here we know very well, S and this is P. Hybridization of beryllium is, that is Sp. Okay, so here I am taking boron, BH3. So we know boron belongs to third A group element, so that is 3, group number is 3. Now how many monovalent here? We should take monovalent hydrogens as or halogens. So here 3 is there, so this is 3. So we know very well 6 by 2, that becomes 3. So hybridization for boron is sp2. Okay, and we can take methane. So we know methane, in which carbon is a central atom. So take it as 4. Why? Because carbon belongs to fourth group element. Number of monovalent is 4. So total number of pairs will be 4. 4 pairs around that particular carbon. So finally 4 means hybridization of this will be sp3. Okay. Now even we can take one more, multiple bonds around central atom. See, carbon dioxide. So carbon belongs to 4, but here see there is no monovalent. So we should take it as 0. Only monovalent atom should be present. So finally 4 by 2, now you will get 2. Now hybridization is simply sp. Okay. So not only this, we can take even ammonia. Ammonia. See, here it is fifth group element and 3 atoms are present. Now finally 8 by 2, here you may expect 4. Now hybridization is simply sp3. So like this you can take many examples. By taking a neutral molecule, that neutral molecule central atom group number should be substituted here, and how many number of monovalent atoms are present around that central atom, that will be substituted here, and finally you will get one number by dividing with 2. So that number will explain total number of pairs around central atom. That can be calculated like this. Suppose see, I would like to take SOCl2, thionyl chloride. Sulfur belongs to sixth group. Central atom is sulfur. Okay, so this is 6. How many monovalent is there? 2 monovalent. So take 2, and here 8 by 2, finally you will get 4. If it is 4, hybridization is simply sp3. Thionyl chloride, like that. We can calculate hybridizations of many molecules like this. Okay, one more example I will give. Xenon trioxide. So we know xenon belongs to 8th group element. There is no monovalent in this. So 8 by 2, finally you will get 4. So when value is 4, so that is sp3. Okay. So xenon tetrafluoride. Xenon tetrafluoride, that is 1 by 2. Now here it is 8th group element and 4 monovalent is there. So finally 12 by 2, here you will expect 6. Now hybridization is sp3d2. sp3d2, here 2 lone pairs are present. So if you want to get accurate structure, that is square planar, you can also expect a parent structure as square bipyramid like that. Okay. So here I am taking a HNO3, nitric acid. So 1 by 2, 5 plus, how many monovalent is there? Only 1. So 6 by 2, finally that is sp3. sp3 means hybridization is sp2. 3 will be there, hybridization is sp2. Okay. So here I am taking a cation. NH4 plus. If it is cation, first group number should be written for central atom. So here central atom is nitrogen, group number is 5. Next, how many monovalent is there? 4. What is the charge on cation? That is plus 1. So you should take it as minus 1. So finally 5 plus 4, 9 minus 1, 8 by 2. So 8 by 2 means 4. So hybridization is sp3. Forget about this structure. Concentration is only on hybridization. NO2 plus nitronium. Okay, cation 1 by 2, nitrogen is 5th group element, and here how many monovalent? 0. What is the charge on cation here? That is plus 1. It should be taken as minus 1. So finally 5 minus 4, 1, that is 4, 4 by 2. Here you may expect a sp hybridization. You will get 2. That's why hybridization is sp in this one. Okay. See, I am taking I3 plus. I3 plus. So in I3 plus, iodine is a central atom 1 by 2. If one iodine is central atom, remaining 2 iodines are belongs to surrounding atoms which are get surrounded around central iodine. So one iodine is belongs to 7th group element, that is plus 7 here. Now plus how many monovalent is there other than one iodine? Remaining 2 will be there. So you should take it 2 and this is minus 1. Finally here you will get 9 minus 1, that is 8 by 2. 8 by 2 means you will get 4. Okay. So here iodine is 7th group element. Remember, iodine is 7th group element. Remaining 2 iodines are completely oriented, that should be taken as 2. Total 7 plus 2, 9, 9 minus 1, 8, 8 by 2. So here most probably you will expect sp3 type of hybridization. So there is a choice of showing some kind of deviations that should be calculated later, but actually general calculations are giving that. So one of the iodine having 7th group element, and here how many monovalent around this? That is 2 monovalent. So 7 plus 2, 9 minus 1, 8 by 2, you will get 4, sp3 hybridization. Okay. So some deviations are expected, that you will see selectively in concepts. Okay. So here I am taking ICl2. Okay, ICl2 plus. See, here this is 1 by 2. Now iodine carry positive charge, it is a central atom, so it is having a group number 7, and here this is 2, and here it is minus 1. Okay. So here we need to remove 1 electron from this. So here also same 8 by 2. Okay. So 8 by 2 means you may expect 4. Hybridization is sp3 like that. So not only this, even if you take a anion CO3 minus 2, carbonato. So carbon belongs to 4th group element. Now there is no monovalent. Now charge is minus 2 means we need to add plus 2 here. So finally 6 by 2 you will get 6 by 2, your value will be 3. So hybridization is sp2. Okay. So sulfato, SO4 minus 2, sulfato, here also almost all same, 1 by 2, and sulfur belongs to 6th group element, there is no monovalent here. Okay. So excess 2 electrons are present, that should be taken as plus 2. So finally here it becomes 8 by 2, finally you will get 4, and hybridization is sp3. Okay. So PO4 minus 3. So when I take PO4 minus 3, that is 1 by 2, phosphorus 5th group element, there is no monovalent in this one, so take it as 0. Now charge becomes plus 3, minus 3 means we need to add extra electrons, plus 3. So here you may expect 8 by 2, finally that is 4, here hybridization is simply sp3. So that is a way of calculating hybridization of given molecule with respect to these formulas. And one more formula is there, that is method 2. Method 2, which is calculated based on total number of pairs. Okay. So always remember, hybridization is equal to total number of sigma bonds. How many total number of sigma bonds are present plus number of lone pairs. How many lone pairs are present, how many sigma bonds are present. If you get that number, based on that only we can calculate hybridization of a given molecule. Okay. Suppose see here this is ammonia. So this is NH3. Total number of sigma bonds are 3 sigma bonds are present. okay, and one lone pair is present, total number is 4. So here molecule carry sp3 hybridization, okay. So here this is water molecule, oxygen. So oxygen, around oxygen how many sigma bonds are there? With hydrogen, 2 hydrogens, 2 sigma bonds here, and 2 lone pairs are present. So 2 plus 2 you will get 4, and finally hybridization is sp3. Okay. Suppose you can also take one more example with respect to xenon. See here, xenon tetrafluoride. If you don't know how many number of lone pairs are present, you can calculate like this. See, xenon belongs to 8th group element, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 electrons are present. Out of 8 electrons, 4 electrons are participating in bonding with monovalency, 1, 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. And remaining 2 will be lone pair. So we can write it like this, 3, 4, and this is 5, and this is 6. Total number of pairs are 6 pairs are present. In this 4 are bond pair and remaining 2 are lone pair. 4 are bond pair, remaining 2 are lone pair. Okay. So total number of pairs are 6. So 6 becomes, which indicates, see, 2 lone pairs, 4 bond pairs are present, number is 6. So we can expect a hybridization of sp3 d2. Okay. So mostly you may get a octahedral. If 2 lone pairs are present, we should ignore structure of that molecule with respect to lone pair. We should consider only with bond pairs only. So based on that we can say it is a square planar molecule. Okay. So here see, you can write a interhalogen ICl3. Suppose we don't know how many lone pairs are present. First you take iodine, write down total number of valence electrons present in iodine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7. 3 halogens are surrounded around iodine. So this is 1, 2, 3. Remaining 2 electrons just assume as a lone pair. So here how many pairs are present? 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, and this is 5. Total number of pairs are 5, in which 2 will be lone pairs, and remaining 3 will be bond pairs. Total number of pairs are 5. So total number of pairs are 5 means now hybridization is, okay, sp3d. sp3d will be the hybridization. Okay. So BrF5, pentahalo interhalogen. Okay. So bromine is a central atom, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7. Now 5 fluorine atoms are surrounded, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, and this is 5, and 1 lone pair is present. Total number of pairs are 6 or not? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. 6 pairs are present. 6 pairs here, how many lone pairs are present? 1 lone pair. How many bond pairs are present? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bond pairs. Total number is 6. So you may say directly sp3 d2 will be the hybridization of a molecule. So you can also calculate by taking a negative charge ion. See, CO3 minus 2, carbon A2. Okay. So when you take carbon A2, carbon belongs to 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth group element, and here 2 extra electrons are present, that should be taken here now, total 6. Central carbon carry total 6 electrons, 4 from carbon, remaining 2 extra from any acid or any metal. So here we know oxygen having a divalency. So you write down double bond O, and here one more double bond O. Always remember, oxygen having a bivalency or divalency, they will attain octet electronic configuration only when if they take 2 electrons from central atom. And here minus 2 is there, every double bond oxygen you just convert as a single bond. So total number of pairs are 1, 2, 3. 3 pairs are present, no lone pair, but 3 are completely bond pairs. So finally we can expect a hybridization of sp2. Okay. So we can say directly carbon, 1 double bond directly, and here 1 single bond, and here also 1 single bond, and this oxygen carry minus 1, it is also carry minus 1. Like that we can calculate a trigonal planar structure around carbon atom. Okay. So we can take even carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, carbon belongs to 4th group. Okay. So there is no charge over here, so that's why no need to add electron, no need to remove electron from central atom in this molecule. So every oxygen carry 2 electrons, here also 2 electrons, it is first pair and this is second pair. Total number of pairs in this molecule is only 2 pairs. So when 2 pairs are present, Now there is no lone pair and final hybridization is sp. Okay, so when sp is present, so you may expect CO2 linear type of structure is expected. Suppose what happens when molecule carry positive charge? See NH4 plus. Nitrogen belongs to fifth group, right? Yes. So but whenever molecule carry positive charge, we need to remove same number of electrons from central atom. Actually it is fifth group, but due to +1 remove one electron. So then total valence electrons only on nitrogen is 4 and every hydrogen contributes 1 electron. So total pairs are 4. Okay, so due to loss of 1 electron, here you should write positive charge. So now total number of pairs are 4, no lone pair. Here 4 will be bond pair. Now hybridization is sp3. Finally you can write structure like this. Here hydrogen, 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 and here one more hydrogen, and this is plus. Like that we can calculate hybridization based on total number of pairs. And one more easiest method which you can understand very easily, okay, that is by method 3, in which we can calculate hybridization with the help of total number of pairs around central atom by ignoring pi bond. Okay, suppose see here, if I take methane, in methane just you consider how many sigma bonds are present around carbon. Only sigma bonds we need to consider, and how many pairs between two adjacent atoms. One pair, here one pair, one pair, and here one pair. Total number of pairs are 4. Now hybridization is sp3. Between two adjacent atoms, how many pairs are present? Okay, that should be calculated. See here. Okay, carbon carbon double bond. See, between around this carbon, between these two one pair, around this carbon one pair, between these two carbons it is also one pair. 4 electrons also belongs to one pair. Total number of pairs are 3. This is second pair and this is third pair. So here total number of pairs are 3. So we can expect sp2. So same way we can calculate like this. See, carbon carbon triple bond is present. Now around this carbon 2 bonding interactions are present. Left side with hydrogen, right side with carbon. Left side with hydrogen, how many electrons are there? Only 1 electron, that is one pair. Right side 6 electrons are there. So this is one pair and this is second pair. Around this carbon, left side 2 electrons, right side 6 electrons. 6 electron is one pair. 6 electron is one pair, 2 electron is one pair. Total number of pairs are 2 pairs. Pair may be any number of set. It may carry 2 electrons, 6 electrons, 1000 electrons, whatever it may be. If pair carry set of electrons, that should be taken as 1. So between these two 2 electrons, between these two 6 electrons. So around this carbon, this side one side, this side one side, only 2 sets. So 2 sets means hybridization is sp. Okay. So suppose see here, if I take NO2 plus, around this nitrogen how many pairs are there? This is one side one pair, right side one more pair, second pair, total pairs are 2, then hybridization is sp. It is sp. Suppose see if I take sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide, sulfur carry double bond O, double bond O, double bond O. Okay, how many pairs are there? First pair, second pair, third pair. See a 2 electron pair, 2 electron pair, 2 electron pair. Okay, total pairs are 3. So now hybridization is sp2. Okay, so carbon ato, C double bond O, O minus 1 and here O minus 1. How many pairs? 1, 2, 3. So 3 pairs are present and here sp2. Here 4 electron pair, 2 electron pair, 2 electron pair. Okay, sulfur double bond O, O minus 1, O minus 1. So it will comes from sulfuric acid. So total number of pairs are between sulfur oxide one pair, sulfur oxide one pair, here also one pair. So here pair means the set of number of electrons which are present between two bonded atoms. Between these two. So we are calculating hybridization for this. So around this we need to see how many pairs are present. So around this first pair, second pair, here third pair, and this is fourth pair. Total number of pairs are 4. Now no lone pair. So finally see hybridization is sp3. Like that we can calculate hybridations by using this particular method. So like that we can see many logical approaches regarding to organic as well as inorganic molecules with respect to these methods. Okay. So thank you for watching this video, and we will come with a new videos with new analysis. Thank you.